Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you.
Nnamdi Kanu mocks Obasanjo, Danjuma go on for demanding restructuring from Buhari. Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, has mocked former head of state General Yakubu Gowon, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and ex-military Commander General Theophilus Danjuma over their separate calls for restructuring of the country. General Yakubu Gowon, retired, had at a public event organized by Igbo Leadership Development Foundation on Thursday admitted that the Igbo nationals has been marginalized in Nigerian politics. He said, "I believe that a lot of injustice has been done to the Igbos, and a constitutional debate on restructuring must address all imbalances and restore hope and confidence." Also, Obasanjo has condemned the current state of affairs in the country in a speech on Saturday at the Frederick First Memorial Lecture. The ex-military leader said, "We established that federal government would suppress the Biafra Republic within 3 months to make allowances for the unforeseen. We allowed 6 months, but it took us 32 months, 5 times what we allowed for, and what is more, we nearly lost the war as if a field commander at the end of the war. I can attest that we fought with all Nigerian tribes, including Igbos, against Biafras. And if after over 10 years of fighting Boko Haram, the terrorist group is still waxing strong, let nobody out of self-delusion think of a war of self-determination by one or more geographical zone of Nigeria. With the present disintermediation would be easily suppressed by the rest of what we remain of the country. Some will fight to the last drop of their blood of their group rather than suffer the indictment of slavery, oppression, dominion, and injustice, imbalance in the land of their birth. And the only way they can do that is to call for their country to restructure. If Boko Haram gets an outside support, any geopolitical zone operating for self-determination may equally get an external support. War may not necessarily go as planned, estimated, and predicted. Everything must, therefore, be put in place to avoid a war, the end of which no one can precisely predict. There is one there is no assumption that Nigeria can survive a second civil war, but rather we should seek political solution and avoid destructive civil war. Nnamdi Kanu, however, believed that these were men who rather took up arms against the Igbos than restructured the country in 1967. In 1967, Gowon, North and Southwest, rejecting restructuring, known then as Iberi, and banded together in a geographical law against war against Biafra that took that stood for restructuring. Kanu wrote on a tweet, "Today, Southwest, Southwest, South South, Central, North Central, plus Gowon, Danjuma, Obasanjo are begging for restructuring. Is it this appalling? Biafra is the only solution and option they have." Wow. Nnamdi Kanu is seriously mocking, Yakubu Gowon, Obasanjo, and every one of them. Because what the Igbos called for in 1967 was restructuring of Nigeria, which led to Nigerian civil war, which led to destruction of lives and property of Nigerians. Nigerians died, not to mention a few that, that were survived to carry on with the birth, their land of nativity. People that died, some of them cannot be accounted for. Yet, the federal government does not have any wall of memorial as to the names of those that died just to be remembered by their country. Today, the same reason why Nigerian engaged in civil war is what Buhari, Yakubu Gowon, and Danjuma are requesting for. These were the same people who fought seriously against the Biafrans. These were the same people who did not allow Biafrans to see the light of day, but fought them seriously. And you know what Obasanjo said? He said they would have lost that war. They would have lost that war. But, he said, and it was all tribes that came together to see to it that they fought that war. He said, so Nigerian again cannot survive another civil war. That we need to put a stop to these things that are going on. Boko Haram started 10 years ago, and it's as if they are just waxing stronger. Why? I'll tell you. Because there are some persons behind them who is seriously sponsoring them and encouraging them to continue and to do. Remember how Boko Haram started? I've told you before. Please refer to my former news and see for yourself. Three northern governments came together and they said they wanted, because they felt when Olusegun Obasanjo came in, he did not put any of their person as minister in one area or the other. So they felt like they were marginalized. They came together, according to the sources we got, and put together 100 million each. This was money, not their personal money, meant for the state to better the life of the people, to put things in order, to construct roads, make sure there is electricity, good, light, water, make sure the life of the people were better. Remember that in the north in Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria is where you have child marriage because they don't go to school. There is mass poverty. But the government, because they are eating money, will not tell you that. Instead of them putting this money to make the life of the people better, they rather started a war. That's how they started. They enticed these guys, these young men that were jobless, people that they should have empowered, given opportunity to be able to learn trade and better themselves. But what they did rather was to equip them to begin to fight people, to begin to destroy peace, to begin to make sure that in that region there was no peace, all as to frustrate the administration. And so it has continued for now well over 10 years, and the government say they are fighting Boko Haram. Guess what? Even in the time of Jonathan, Nigerians wanted Jonathan out because they felt he was doing nothing. But now we are knowing that Jonathan even did better than even the so-called Nautanan Buhari is doing. Little did Nigerian know that it was all a plot. He was also part of them. Why did I say it's a part of them? His actions. There is an adage that says your action speaks louder than your voice. Buhari seems to be oblivious to the pain and the cry of what is going on in Nigeria. If you're quiet about something, silence, they say, is agreement, is consensus. It means you are happy with what is going on. You don't have a problem with it. What are they crying about? What is the problem? What's going on? So that's why I said what I said, that little did they know that Buhari was part of it with his actions. Little did they know that it's even worse. The time of Jonathan was better. Please refer to my former news and hear of an American soldier who said that they were almost defeating Boko Haram, but they found out that whenever they have a meeting and they've planned and strategized before they go and attack the Boko Haram, it's as if there is an informer in their midst who informs the Boko Haram and let them know that this is how they are coming, this is the strategy, this is what they are going to do next, and what have you. So that's what Nigerian has become. That's what is going on in the country, So now, these people, Nnamdi Kanu is just laughing at them. So this is not the same very issue that the Igbo were crying for in 1967 that made you guys went into war with the Igbos. How come you're asking Buhari for the same restructuring? How come? You see, what is going on now is more than restructuring. The Biafrans will always tell you, let Nigerian divide. That is the way forward. Because what is going on, anybody that is still speaking out for Buhari needs to be stoned. He needs to be stoned, or there is something else. Probably is getting a benefit we are not aware of, or something else is going on. Anybody that is talking about Buhari needs to be dealt with. Well, guys, I would like to hear your take on this matter. Nnamdi Kanu has yapped them thoroughly. I'd like to hear your take on this matter. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. We're here to keep you up to date with all that is going on in Nigeria and around the nations of the world. You have a voice, please use it. Thanks for listening. God bless.